Social Security, can I help you?
Hi.
Just fine, how are you?
I'm fine. So, me and my friend, we have a question. So I'm gonna go first because, like, talking. So I have a personal question.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so for the SSDI or SSI, so if I'm earning money on TikTok, do I have SSDI or SSI? Let them know that I'm earning money on that platform.
Yes. If you're on disability and you're working, and even though you're still performing a service to get paid for it, then yes, you do have to report it, and you are subject to an income limit. SSI, SSDI, you can earn $1,620 gross per month without it affecting your benefit. SSI is a little bit different.
I have SSDI.
Okay.
I have SSDI, and I was wondering, so if it's under that amount, because
So let me put it this way. Is it going to be claimed for income tax purposes?
I'm sorry, I'm a little lost. What does that mean?
And taxes on the earnings at the end of the year.
Will I be filing taxes on money that I make?
Yeah.
Yeah, I file taxes.
Yeah, so what she's saying is, are you planning on filing your taxes?
Well, my parents file it for me. I don't deal with it. I'm disabled.
But it's your own return, or is it a joint return?
It's both. Because my parents are my caregivers, and then I file my own taxes.
You can't be claimed on two different tax records.
No.
If you're an adult,
Yeah, I file my own, and my parents file theirs. Sorry, I got it confused.
Okay.
It's a lot.
So, did you say you get your check on?
Friday? Usually.
We don't pay. It's the first, the third.
Oh, what day of the month or day of the week?
Okay. So as long as you stay under the $1,620, you're okay. But yes, you do have to report it. So when you start doing that type of work, then we would put it into the system showing that you reported it. And then if something happens, let's say, then you call us and say, hey, I've stopped working. When you're on disability and you go back to work, you get what they call a trial work period. So for the first 9 months, basically you can pretty much earn as much as you want, but after those 9 months, you have an extended period of eligibility, which is but during those 36 months, you have to stay under the 1620. Any month that you're over, you're not due a payment for that month.
Yeah, of course. Sorry, I was just confused because everyone's, in all honesty, I'm working at TikTok. I've started making money. And TikTok is paying me, but it's always under that 1620 limit. It always has been.
Yeah. Just want to make sure that you do have it reported on our system because you don't want somebody getting mad at you and calling it in and saying you're working and you're not reporting it. So
yeah. So can I? Do I just tell you? Do I just tell you like I did?
You have to. So let's just say
how long have you been there?
You have to. because
I know. I'm saying, do I just tell her now?
well, this is a
I can put it in for you, but the social that was entered in the system, does that belong to you, or does it belong to someone else that starts with
No,
a
that
619?
belongs to me. I just don't want him to know it because he's my friend and he's trying to help. But like, he doesn't need to know that. But yes, that is mine.
So I can take your report. Are you willing to disclose the employer, the rate of pay, things like that?
I don't know the rate of pay because it changes. It's TikTok.
So can you give me an average, like how frequently does it pay you?
If I make money that week, Wednesday. If I make money.
And just an average, what usually do you make every time you get paid?
I could make $50. Make $600 the other month, so I don't really know.
How long have you been doing this for?
I've started more consistently in the past year. So, like this year, I've started more consistently. I've had my account for 2 years, but I wasn't able to get into it. I wasn't able to get into it until May of this year. So just May, June, July, and beginning of August. Yeah.
I mean, you see how you see how this lady explained it to you. So
Yeah.
if you didn't report it, then it's considered fraud. Am I right, Miss?
Correct.
Yeah. And I'm not. That's not what I want.
So
I know, but it's
so
like,
here's another question.
okay, go ahead, Miss.
Since you became eligible for disability, you said you had not worked before, but you just started doing this, let's say, within the last 2 years, correct? Did you ever work for Amazon?
Yes, I did.
Okay. There's significant earnings in 2024 for Amazon. So you've already earned your trial work period. You earned your trial work period in 2023, so it is very imperative that you stay under the 1,006. I said any month that you're over and you could be overpaid.
Yeah. I've always gotten my $700. That's all I get. And that's been like that for the past 8 years since I've moved to Texas.
Because last year it doesn't look like you probably didn't earn enough with them to report anything.
Nope, I did not.
You see how she looked up your system?
Yep.
Yeah. So therefore, you didn't report anything to them when you was earning money from Amazon or whatever.
I reported Amazon. Amazon's on my taxes.
Yeah.
Tax is a different thing. Taxes is reporting for your tax responsibility because you're on disability is two different things. So even though you report it to IRS, you also need to report it to us because, like I said, if we don't know and a whole year goes by and you've been over the limit for all year long, that's 12 months that you've been overpaid.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And I'm like, sorry, I should have been more cognizant of that. I'm not trying to get myself in trouble. I'm not. I was made aware that under the limit, I didn't have to report, at least that, and that's what I've read, and that's when I've talked to a Social Security disability attorney, that's what they said. But yeah, as long as I tell you, that should be fine, right?
Right. So I'm going to put in here that you're reporting to us, and then if something happens, you stop working, you let us know. So I'm basically going to send you a form. It's going to ask you about what your responsibilities are, try to figure out like an average of what you think you're going to be earning per week, so we can kind of have a guideline of, you know, what you think you're earning, and then when
Per
you're ready
week
to
or
review
month?
it, I would do per week. Do you,
Okay, because I can tell you per week. I already know that.
okay, what is it per week?
Like 150, 200.
And that's things are taken out.
Yeah.
So do you know who, or do they?
1099. Yeah. Yeah, 1099. On a W-2.
So here's the other thing. A 1099 is considered self-employment because they're not giving you a W-2. So with self-employment, it works a little bit differently. With self-employment, you could, for example, make, let's say $20,000, but you have expenses that you have to take into consideration. So if you have to travel to go to a different place to film, you know, things that can be written off, like your gasoline and...
Oh, isn't that called a write-off?
Right. So where I was leading with that with self-employment, even though your gross may be $20,000, your net is after all of your expenses are taken into consideration. So self-employment works a little bit differently than actual wages.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Got in mind.
Isn't I'm not in trouble.
No, I'm going to send you the receipt showing that you've reported the work. There's also going to be, like I said, a questionnaire asking a little bit more detail regarding the work, so we kind of, and then we'll, every so often, we'll go in and check your case to see if anything has changed, unless you report any changes to us before.
Okay.
I got a few more questions for you, Miss. But Faith, by the way, not you saying you're going to prison. No. I mean, the thing is, if you don't report it, it's considered fraud.
And reporting to you means just telling you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I have to tell you.
Right.
Be aware.
You're notifying us activity. And then we, like I said, we keep track of where you're at, so that you know, okay, well, you know what, I'm getting to the end of this. I need to either figure out if I'm going to continue working, stop working, or whatever the case is. So we'll follow up with you if you stop working.
So as long as I keep the same job, I don't have to do this repeatedly, right?
Not necessarily this repeatedly, but we do follow up like once every year if you haven't told us before you stop working, just to make sure you're not, you know, that your pay hasn't increased or anything like that.
Okay. But as long as I make it under the limit.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Under the limit is fine. Go ahead, Liz.
I do have a few questions before I let you go. Is this same thing with Cash App too and PayPal? Like, if you receive money from...
As gifts?
No, not gifts. Like, Cash App is different. That's people sending you money. Like... That's
a gift, though. Make them send me anything.
I mean, they still gave...
That kind of thing doesn't affect you. That's not considered earned income.
Oh, okay. So Cash App, PayPal, you don't have to report it. I mean, even though they send you the money.
So, like, let's say for her birthday, somebody gave her $100 as a gift. That's not considered earned income, and that doesn't count against her. Now, she's providing a service, like
because TikTok is gifts. TikTok is gifts. It's not providing a service. I'm literally just going on stream and talking to people, and people gift me. That's not a service. That's why I'm so
What kind of thing are you talking about?
Myself, just my story, and how I'm in a wheelchair and I'm a quadriplegic and I'm disabled, and talk about our lives, and like, it's just a big party. We just hang out with our friends. It's not like doing something.
Parties, they would be paying you, so they are paying you for a TV.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So that is considered a service.
Yeah, I mean, TikTok is, I mean,
It's not like a GoFundMe kind of thing. Do you get it?
I was going to get to that also. But with the whole TikTok and PayPal like connected to it, regardless of the amount that it was made.
Well, it doesn't have to be reported.
I mean, because you are making money on TikTok.
If they're paying you for a PayPal, they'll let you know that if you earned over a certain amount, they're going to send you a 1099.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that.
Everybody gets 1099s. Because if you make a certain amount, you have to pay your taxes regardless.
Okay.
Okay, so what about as far as like, I'm not actually doing this, but I'm gonna say allegedly, okay? Because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, so what about if someone was like, hey, can I borrow money or this and that? Like, I mean, would that affect the SSD also if you're asking people for money?
No.
No, I'm asking her.
Not if they don't send it.
I'm asking her. I'm asking her, not you.
You're asking like if the person that's receiving the benefit is asking.
Like, let me give you a question. Like, let's just say I'm on SSDI, right? And I don't have like any money. I need help or whatever. Right? Let's say if I asked you, hey, can I borrow $100? And then people send it to me. Would that also affect my my SSDI because I'm asking for money and I'm not reporting that to you?
It kind of depends, because are we talking a loan agreement that we...
Contracts.
No.
No loan agreement.
Like you know how daily people might ask for money and stuff? I just don't know how it goes when it comes to SSDI or SSI. Like,
I don't have SSI.
Yeah, I'm saying like, ask people for money. Like, will that also like, get you in trouble because you're asking for people for money?
Yeah.
You say yes?
Because it's considered like it's kind of like an outside source that's
okay. So
paying you. I mean, I don't want to put it like handling. So if you were standing on the street asking for money because you needed to buy food for the week, then that counts as income.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, either way it goes, it's not theft by deception. I didn't hear you. Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, you just want to make sure that we know, because again, especially if you're doing TikTok and somebody's going to recognize you, and then, you know what, she's getting a disability check. Somebody's going to report you. Doing it this way, we already know that, and we would just dismiss it.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like people are telling me that I'm going to go to prison, and I'm I'm not doing this on purpose. It's not malicious intent. If I say that I need money to move and I get a TikTok gift and then things fall through and plans change and I can't do it anymore. Like, if they give me, like, that's mine and I just have to tell y'all, right? Okay.
Because, I mean, the other end of that is, like I said, if we were talking like a loan agreement, you know what, can you loan me $200 until I get paid and then I'll pay you back? We're talking kind of two different things.
Thank you for bringing that up. So, my question is if you from these businesses, whether if it's overseas or whatever that stuff, that needs to be reported to also, right? If you're doing a loan.
Well, if it's a loan that's to be repaid, then no, because that's not considered earned income.
Okay, okay, that's what you're saying now.
So
when it comes to loans,
yeah, we're kind of dealing with earned versus unearned. So like loan, we're not going to count that as income. Or like, let's say you were selling a car to someone in payments and they were paying you the payments. That's not considered earned income. And for our purposes, we're looking at earned income. The unearned income careless. So if you had royalties or mineral rights, let's say you had a 401 from somewhere else, those kind of things don't count because you didn't actually go out and work for those. But TikTok, you're actually filming and streaming a story, which is in all reality providing a service.
Yeah.
You're inspiring somebody else. You're helping somebody else through something. So it's kind of like counseling, if you want to put it like that way.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But I just want to make sure that I'm not going to prison.
Now,
Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'll give you an example. We've had people, let's say, okay, so we have a person that he was doing a service of digging graves. He was on disability because he had a bad back, couldn't work. So his way of hiding it was he was filing it under the wife.
Oh.
Who never did any of it.
Oh,
Somebody reported him, and they went and took pictures of him doing the service, and that was the end of his disability. Even if it's just menial kind of thing, because especially with TikTok and so many accesses to streaming networks and things, you don't want somebody getting upset with you and reporting you when they don't have any idea.
Yeah.
And that's a little bit.
Yeah.
The next one, then make sure you're.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure people have no idea what I go through and like what my situation is. And I just got my TikTok account back in May. I've had the app, but someone hacked my account and I couldn't get into it. So I haven't really consistently used it all but for months. And I'm telling you guys because I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, the only other thing that I recommend is like keep you a little logbook of the date you get paid, how much you got paid. So if we ever question, okay, especially with it self-employment, normally with self-employment, the way we do it is we get whatever is filed at the end of the year and divide that by 12. Well, that may not necessarily be accurate because maybe 1 month, and this is just an example, maybe 1 month you earn $2,000, but the next month you only earn, when you average it out, it could make you overpaid all versus where it was really 1 month that you should have been overpaid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you just want to keep the situation goes on. So you really won't know, okay, well, I did this day, and, that kind of thing. There's no tracking per se.
Yeah. Okay. Liz, do you have any more questions?
yeah, so let's just say none of this was reported, right? And a lot of people might put in reports say, hey, this person's doing this and doing that. And like later on, you guys finally catch on and you just. So what would happen to that person since now you know what's going on behind the scenes?
So in other cases of things like that where people fail to report, a lot of the times they report to IRS and then shows up on our records. So we get what we call an earnings enforcement. And then we start reaching out to the person, hey, what did you do? What kind of work were you doing? Or you get where somebody reports you because for whatever reason, maybe something you upset them, so now they're going to, try to take away everything that you've got.
Yeah.
But they go to jail, or they'll just lose their SSDI money.
We've had people that have pled guilty and they just have to pay restitution, meaning they would have to pay the benefits back. Depending on the severity and the type, we have had people that start extreme jail time, but I mean, not in our area at least. I mean, other states and stuff, they've had people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're talking about somebody that continued to cash a dead person's check for 3 years.
That's wild.
You know. So,
Okay.
Like,
yeah. So I mean, would you go to jail? No.
no.
What about if?
But
What about if you found out that person made like over $90K or $100,000?
But it doesn't matter as long as it's under that threshold.
No. I'm
well,
question now. This is her.
so like, let's say you became extremely popular, right? Let's
Yeah.
say you had over 1 million followers, and everybody gave you $10 a month as like a subscription per se.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little bit different because there's an actual subscription involved, so that's basically like wages. But I mean,
But my subscription on TikTok is $2.
But hold on, because I'm trying to.
I mean, it kind of depends. I mean, if you were to hit over 1 million, you $2 a month to subscribe, then yes.
That's
but
not.
I'm not to say you're going to go to jail.
Hold on.
But if you're telling us, you know what, hey, this is how many God, this is where I'm at, we would try to stop your benefits before you would get overpaid. But you're telling us. The whole point is
No.
Yeah.
trying to hide it.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm not trying to hide it. I've never have.
Yeah.
I've just been confused because they say, oh, they don't count as gifts don't count as earned income. So when I hear the word gifts don't count, I'm like, oh, report this because it's a gift. Like literally, it's for tax purposes. I have to fill out a form with my social security number. And as long as I fill out that 1099 form, wouldn't you see it? Like, if I was hiding it, wouldn't you guys find out by now?
well, Faith.
I'm just asking.
Not necessarily.
Faith.
Again, like
I'm
with
sorry, go ahead.
TikTok and stuff, it would be filed in self-employment. So you file taxes. So that wouldn't. That's really not disclosing it to us. We're finding out by a third party.
So back to my question, because like I'm just trying to like I want to hear an answer. So what I was trying to say is, let's say if I made $80K or $100,000, and you guys didn't know about that, what would happen on that end? Like, let's say you found out like years ago that, oh, you made $100,000, you didn't tell us. Like that's my question.
Well, at that point, we here don't make the decision whether it would be considered fraud or not. There's a lot of things that would have to be taken into consideration, like using somebody else's social. Did you file it as, or did you get a W-2? So there's different things that go into effect when we're talking about that kind of stuff.
I've never gotten it as a W-2. I've only gotten it as cash. Like, it's gone to my bank account, but it hasn't exceeded that $1,600 limit per month.
So, I mean, there's kind of different things that play in that part. And then where it happens is like, okay, so for 12 months, because we would divide it by 12, so obviously you'd be over the 1620. So for that whole year, if you got checks, you're overpaid. Then it's up to the Office of Investigative General to decide if there's any fraud behind it or not, and whether they're going to pursue it.
Yeah. So if I the year's worth of checks?
Well, so let's say you didn't tell us. From January, you started doing TikTok, and you earned, like, his question. Like,
You sound low, miss. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
That's not Gary. You sound really low. Say that again.
So like you're saying, if you earned let's say 100,000 for the year in self-employment, we would take that 100,000 and divide it by 12. So you're over the monthly limit for 12 months. So you would be overpaid for 12 months. That is, if you didn't.
Can I ask a question?
So you're pretty much taking away the SSDI benefits since that person didn't report that they made 100,000 and they didn't tell you about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So let's say that someone makes that amount of money, like he was saying, and then over $1,620 in my bank account ever. So, and the reason that is because you know how people gift each other, and like people, you can send gifts to other people in your balance, like in the amount of coins that you have or currency that you have. Does that affect it? No.
Again, a gift is considered unearned income.
Yeah.
But a subscription is, in your situation, really, the subscription would be what we'd be looking at. So how many people subscribe? Do they give you, I know sometimes you can like that.
$2.99, and I have 13 subscribers.
Expanded to where it put you over the limit, and you didn't let us know. Would you necessarily go to jail? No. Would you be overpaid? Certainly.
Yeah.
Now, if your benefits got stopped because you worked in and then, let's say 6 months down the road after we stopped your check, you're no longer doing that, then you would come back and file what we call an expedited reinstatement because your earnings are no longer an issue. So we would request the disability office to put you back on.
Okay. That makes sense. I just want to make sure, because that's what I'm concerned about, is people are mad for several reasons, but I just want to make sure that my butt is covered and that I'm telling you, and I'm on record telling you this because I've only consistently done this for 4 months. Been on TikTok, but I haven't made as much money as I have now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're making $50 to $100 in that's barely anything. And that's where I'm confused, is the TikTok gifts are being sent to me out of kindness. So
consideration on that, are we talking about every month they're giving you a gift, or is it just a one-time sporadic kind of thing?
It's not planned. It's not like this month I am getting $100. You never know what you're going to get. And that's just the scenario.
So the definition of a gift is it's infrequent.
Yeah.
And far and few between. So if you're talking $200 here, $200 6 months from here, those things aren't going to count.
That's exactly what I've tried to figure out.
If the person says, you know what, I feel bad for you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's no longer few and infrequent. So that's what it becomes kind of a fine line.
So I don't have to report those infrequent gifts, right? That's the whole point of this scenario. I'm telling you this, afraid I'll get in trouble, but the gifts are infrequent. They're not every single month consistently from one
With
person.
the type of benefit that you're on, we don't look at what your bank balance is. We could care less. We just
Mhm.
want to make sure your wages stay under the limit. So you could have
What's my limit now?
right now, and you don't have a limit. Well, you don't have a limit for the bank account. The program that you're on, the only thing we care about is that if you work, you stay under the 1620.
Okay, but those unearned incomes, those gifts that I'm speaking of, I didn't have to report that, period. And that's what I've been trying to explain to people.
Stuff that needs to be reported, but if the
Yeah,
gift starts coming from the same person over and over again,
it never comes from the same person.
It's not
And
like hold on, Faye. Like this is how it goes with TikTok. So people do send gifts, whether it's like 1 cent or maybe 50 cents, 50, 100, or maybe 400. And
yeah,
the whole thing about it is, I don't know how SSDI goes, whatever it says. TikTok is considered like an income because you are generating money from there, and
not if it's gifts, though.
yeah, but yeah,
So the way we look at that is when you file your income taxes, calculate how many gifts you get. If they consider it as earned income, then we count it. If it's considered as unearned income, like an inheritance and such, then it wouldn't count against you. So you've got to be reporting it as a gift and not wages.
Yeah, because it is it's never been wages because it comes from different people. Like, I'm pretty sure that one person is not going to send me $3,000. That's never been the case in all my years of doing it. Ever.
Do you mind if I ask you what is your disability?
Cerebral palsy.
Okay. So the other thing is, and I know you're in a wheelchair, you don't want somebody saying, you know what, she got up out of her chair.
What?
So you have to think about it on the part where somebody can report you.
Yeah, but I can walk with a walker and
Bound to the chair. Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Everybody's over.
But if you start doing like any dancing, anything
No.
like that, they could question your disability, and that's where I'm kind of going with this. So you want to make sure you don't want to do anything that's going to question whether
yeah, I can't dance. I on my face. It's not gonna be cute. I would not be excited to do that. But what I will say is people do question specific diagnosis, and I have spastic quadriplegia. And if you know anything about disability, which I'm sure you do, spastic quadriplegia means that all 4 limbs are affected. It doesn't mean paralysis. So I think I've answered all the questions. Liz, do you have one more question?
No, my answers is just like she said. If you're making an income, whether it's on TikTok or whatever platform you do,
But she didn't say that because she said gifts are unearned.
But your subscription is not a gift.
The subscription is $99, and I'm reporting that to you. But all the gifts that I receive are unearned, and that's what people are mad about.
yeah, but
Well, on average,
yeah,
how much would you say you get in gifts? Just a figure. What do you think you make?
I mean, either way it goes, TikTok, you're still making money on her. Like, because if people are sending you $2 or $5,
It only counts for the subs.
it's not the sub. It's not the sub sign. Like if I send you that,
Yeah.
you're still making money. It says when you get off the line, TikTok deducts that 40-60%. So instead of you getting $20 for me, you get $10 because TikTok takes half.
Yeah.
So
So,
it's every.
like,
every
I don't think he's understanding that I don't have to report those things.
no.
So you have to report it
I
to
understand.
TikTok, though, right? And they take half of your commission,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, they asked me for my social security number, and I typed it in, the number you see on your screen. I typed that in, I reported it to TikTok, and they know, or else they couldn't have paid me. They don't pay people that don't fill.
So, and so we're back at this part about the self-employment. So if they write off those gifts, then it's not considered part of your income.
Yeah.
You know what
So
I'm saying?
it's all about how you do the return, basically.
Right.
But ultimately, from what I've explained to you and what he's explained to you, I don't have to report those gifts because they are unearned and they are free will and kindness.
Correct.
Okay.
But
What's your name again?
My name is Michelle. Did you have
Yes,
another
you have
question,
one.
sir?
I was just letting her know, like regardless how you put it. I mean, if you're not making it on TikTok, then I don't know. That's still you have to report it. But if you owe money and you receive that,
You still don't.
you do have to like report it.
Well, so in that questionnaire that I'm going to send you, I can send you a guide about working while you're disabled, and maybe that will help clarify things. Will that help?
Me?
I can send you a booklet that talks about working while you're disabled, the
Uh-huh.
things that we look at, so you have a better idea.
Yeah. That's great.
Okay, I can include that.
Yeah, I just want on my behind because they think that I have to report those gifts and kindness. And they're on me and saying, "Oh, Faith, you have to report this." And in the end, the only thing I have to report is the 13 subscriptions that I get at $299.
Right.
That's it. Nothing else. Okay.
Now, is there
Perfect.
anything else I can help you out with today?
Wiz, you good?
I'm good. I ain't got no more questions. I'm good.
All right. You'll have a good
Thank
day.
you so much.
Thank you, Wiz, for playing that. Faith asked what was beating around the bush so much because at the beginning of the phone call, she clearly stated that those gifts had to be reported. Any amount of gifts, it doesn't matter if it's 10, 20, 30, $40, it has to be reported. So, the way Faith was putting everything, it just threw that poor lady off. As a matter of fact, it sounded like she was starting to get frustrated. So what Faith isn't understanding is she is considered, according to the IRS. Do you kind of see where I'm coming from, Wiz?
Yeah, I try to tell her, but she keep always bouncing the questions. Like you see how in the phone calls I was getting interrupted, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she keep like interrupting me. I forgot to ask about the GoFundMe question.
Yeah, because
I was already annoyed.
and that's what Faith does is she'll you that way you don't get out what you need to get out, and like I said, according even to the Social Security Administration Office and the IRS, social media influencers, and she calls herself a content creator, right?
I mean, yeah, I feel
I
like.
heard her say that she's a content creator, and so
Hold on,
according,
Faith. Hold on.
Go ahead.
No, I'm still Faith. Hold on, because like I'm recording. No, she didn't report any of this stuff. Any of it.
She didn't report the 90K. The 90,000. She didn't mention to that because the lady pulled her. The lady pulled her file because as I was listening to the phone call, the lady, remember just a little bit with not too much information. Not once did Faith tell him that she made the 90,000 over on Meet Me. Imagine if Faith would have told that to the lady about making 90,000 over on Meet Me, and Faith says over a 5-year time period. That phone call would have kind of went bananas.
Yeah, about to play the live. She mentioned about she wanted to play at the gifts part. I was like, no, 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 no. I said, we're going to play this whole thing because I don't need you manipulating people thinking that, oh, just TikTok gives you don't got to report it. No, the whole truth is you didn't report it. Money, you didn't report that either.
Yeah, so, and that's why I wanted to put out this information. I want to thank you, Wiz, for actually playing the entire phone call. Because
because the whole 2 minutes, it wouldn't make no sense. No, we all want to hear the truth. Did you report or not? And she didn't.
She didn't. She didn't report that 90,000. And we're just talking about 90,000. See, when you're a content creator through social media, whatever social media platform you're on, they consider it you're providing a service. You're like an entertainer. And the lady explained it pretty well. It's like the people. So when she gets the CAs and the PayPals and the Venmos or whatnot, it's considered a service, and she has to report those earnings to all those payment apps. And so Faith started trying to confuse the lady, and the lady told her, it's like anybody that's on TV, you're providing a service. And then Faith tried to flip it and say a whole bunch of other things. You're going to find yourself in some pretty big trouble. What the lady said was, because I know the question was, can I go to jail? And of course the lady goes, no, but it's up to the attorney general. It's up to district attorneys, especially when they find out about 90,000. And we're talking just the Meet Me, the 90,000 over on Meet Me. You think they're going to take lightly to that? And tax evasion is not to play with lightly. What Faith essentially is doing is called tax evasion, and she can go to jail. Whether she likes it, she doesn't want to hear the truth. And Wiz, you were telling her, you were talking about the fraud and all that. Faith wanted to change it up on you.
I called her out many times, but many people were saying enabling. I was just like, how is that enabling when I'm calling her out multiple times? I'm not saying, oh yeah, well go ahead. Well, no, I told her stop doing that because you're making us mods look like we're allowing you to do this shit when we're not.
No, and I get it. And
I was even tired of being a moderator because I just feel like it's one ear and one out the other.
It is. It is. And the 90,000 was over on Meet Me. It was income that was generated, right? And now she thinks 90,000 is something light, right? Like if we break on my calculator, so she claims to get $700 a month, roughly $699. Let me break this down. Even if it was 90,000 in 5 years, but I don't believe that to be the case. I got my calculator. So that would put her at the threshold of $1,500 a month. Even if it was 18,000 a year, I know it's way more than that. She's finding herself in some trouble because she never reported that income anyways. She never reported that income.
No, of it was because the lady just confirmed like, oh, so did you report it? She said no. Now it's on the computer that she makes money on TikTok.
So she makes money through social media apps. She collects CAs, PayPals, or whatever other payment apps that she has. And a lot of it, the majority of it hasn't been reported. And so here's the thing about this whole situation is Faith essentially lied to this person at the Social Security Administration office you get a 1099 through social media apps. It's that's why being a content creator or being on social media and you're getting gifts and all that, you have to pay taxes on it. You have to report it. Whether Faith wants to acknowledge it or not, she's going to find herself in trouble. And here's the bigger part. She's still in the guest request.
You can, but Mexican homie, understand this. Every day there's something new. So
It is.
that's why I just observe and report like a security guard. So I'm knowing this stuff, and I came with an idea. I'm just like, you know what? I'm finna call SSDI tomorrow. But then Faith calls me. I'm just like, all right, well. She was like, I'll record it. I was like, nope, I'll record it because we're not gonna be doing tampering evidence. We ain't doing that here.
We want to thank you, Wiz. You the whole recording, and if Faith was only going to play a minute or two, just parts that she thought would make her be more reliable and trustworthy, and where she was trying to put out the truth, which essentially wouldn't have come out good. And we want to thank you, Wiz, for putting out the entire recording for everybody to listen to, because Faith was not going to do that on her part.
And I'm also a creator, but on these pages, I don't never shout out the page. I just try to come up and try to clear my name, but then it's like I'm getting attacked over and over again. So you guys see where I'm at. You want the truth? I gave it to y'all.
Wiz, we appreciate you coming up and being transparent. I know it gets overwhelming sometimes, but what you did was very honorable, and we do appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So all these pages can get the fuck off and start calling people an enabler, because I'm not them. Hi, Faith.
Thank you, Wiz.
So
Go ahead, Faith.
no, it's okay. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Faith. The floor is yours.
So what I want to say is that 90K is over 5 years. That's $1,500 a month.
Yeah, you said in a 5-year time span, according to you.
Yes. And if I was going to be in trouble, I'm sorry, but Social Security has everything that comes in and out of my bank account. Absolutely everything. And if you think that they don't,
Faith, why did you tell the lady that you were talking to? You didn't mention the 90,000, and
I didn't mention the 90,000 because I already reported that.
your SSDI benefit would have got cut.
If it got cut, I would have known. Okay? I reported it. Period. Okay? You can ask my freaking parents' accountant. I don't need to prove anything to you. This is getting to the point where whatever I say, you won't believe. So,
Faith, could I tell you, if you don't mind me telling you something, because I know you're going to go back on your platform and try to explain things to everybody, and here's the thing about it. Based on my research that I've done, besides everything else besides the recording, besides a lot of what you've said yourself. Well, let me ask you this, Faith, if you don't mind me asking. Yesterday, something had happened, and you were on a live stream. You owe Verizon $1,800 for some phones?
no. What happened is I went to Verizon because I was switching to T-Mobile from T-Mobile, and Verizon didn't have the phone that I wanted, so I didn't complete the port process. So the port process got interrupted. That is why the $1,800 is there. I don't owe them anything because I didn't pay.
But it's in collections right now, right?
Yeah, it's in collections, but I still don't owe them anything, and Verizon has told me that.
Wait a minute, Faith. If it's in collections and it's because of Verizon, you owe $1,800, especially if it's in collections.
No.
Yes, Faith, you owe, if it's in collections, $1,800.
No,
You,
I don't. Because I
you
had,
said, you admitted to it yesterday on your live stream, to everybody on your live stream.
no, what I said was, I owe $1,800 according to a piece of paper. Okay? That's what I'm saying. I owe $1,800 according to a piece of paper. That does not mean it is right. Okay?
What?
At the end of the day, no one knows what I go through. No one knows my life. No one knows what I have reported, what I haven't, besides me. If Social Security had a big issue with it, if Social Security had a big issue with anything that I was doing, you best believe my ass would be in jail.
Oh, could I just say this, Faith? This is one very important thing that I want you to think about. And hopefully your parents really think about this, because the recording is going to be put out there. Your parents might end up seeing it. Your parents took, put that house that you're living in under your name, under a trust fund. Do you know, because you're going to be in some trouble with the IRS, and you can say, no, I'm not. No. But let me finish, please. Just because the house is under your name, under a trust fund, you think that they can take your house and seize it?
Take the house because it has nothing to do with them.
It's under your name on a trust fund.
The house
Yes,
has
because
nothing to
I
do
pulled up the property
with me because they are not dead. The house only goes to me if they pass away.
but it's still in a trust fund under your name.
Okay?
So the officially, technically, the IRS can. It's called seizing assets.
Me, idiot. It's going to a lawyer.
Faith, I'm not even here being disrespectful, and you call me an idiot.
Yeah, because you're saying that I'm going to get in trouble for something I didn't do.
Faith, be respectful.
Okay.
Please.
Faith, let's relax here. We're having an adult conversation.
And see, I keep it respectful with everybody, Wiz. I don't sit here and cuss at people. I don't do none of that, right? And there she went, relay information to her. That way she could understand the ramifications of her actions. And she continued, look, I've done the research on this. They could seize her house. It's under a trust fund. Her name is associated with it. Her parents essentially took their and then July of last year, 2024, they put it under her name. She thinks they can't take it. They can.
Right.
And you see, Wiz, I'm keeping it respectful. I didn't raise my voice at her. Get her to understand, she continues to do this because not too long ago she asked for $2,000. Was told all over her live stream. Before that, it was $7,000. Before that, the past couple of weeks, how much money hasn't she asked in thousands of dollars from people?
Yeah, I saw some screenshots thrown around, and when I asked her, she'll just bounce the question.
And it's a lot, because if you really think about it, Wiz, asking for $2,000 for one individual, then $7,000-8,000 from another individual, and I've heard a lot of numbers being thrown around, and I even got screenshots sent to me where she's asked people for money. It's wild. It's wild the amount of money she has asked for people on the back end, not only on the back end, but also on TikTok live streams, and going to be enough with this situation.
Never. It's always something new.